Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to this evening's first Christmas update from GazWeapons.com for the Christmas of 2016. So we've done these Christmas updates over the past, I think it's about the third or fourth year that we've done these updates. They're always a lot of fun, and I know you enjoy them. Not to be taken particularly seriously, of course. It's a very long time away, and we're attempting to predict the weather on an individual day, and that is pretty much impossible at this point in the year. As we get close to Christmas, we'll be able to do that, of course, with shorter range models, but right now it's impossible to pinpoint the weather on a particular day a couple of months into the future. What we can do, however, is look at the long-range CFS model, which is updated 4 times a day, and it runs out beyond, over and beyond Christmas period. It actually goes out for 9 months. We use it with 9-monthly CFS V2. And if we look at this regularly enough, we should start to see trends and patterns emerging. Not exact detail, of course, for the actual day itself, just that one day, but just the trends of the sort of mid to late December period into the early January period, if you want to go to New Year. And if we look at it regularly enough, we should be able to see those trends and patterns emerging as we are going along. For example, if we get 4 or 5 updates in succession that show the same kind of pattern around that sort of late December, early January period, then we'll be able to say we've got a trend and the model is going in this or that direction. Doesn't necessarily mean that the trend will be right, of course. It might be the wrong trend, but we will have a trend if the model is working as it should be. Sometimes we don't get a trend, however. We'll just go from one run to another, and the scenarios will just swing around wildly. But usually we do, as we get closer, particularly towards the end of November and start of December, we do usually start to get a trend emerging. In the last few years, that's tended to be a mild trend, because we have a lot of mild Christmases over the past few years. We always get at least one really entertaining and enjoyable, very cold, snowy Christmas scenario, so that is always the one that generates a lot of interest. But over the past few years, we have tended to, as we've gone along with the updates on a daily basis or a week-by-week basis, we've tended to see the model trending more and more as we get close to Christmas towards mild winter outcomes. We'll see whether that's the case this year. This year does seem a little bit different with the overall weather patterns. It seems to be going into a colder phase. I've updated the blog just a short time ago. The UK Met Office is predicting a cold end to the year from November through to January. Temperatures are forecast by UK Met to be colder than average. So it could be that this year's Christmas update will be a little bit more interesting and entertaining than we've had over the past few years when we've been doing these updates. But we'll see. Of course, just because the end of 2016 is cold doesn't necessarily mean Christmas itself will be cold. So we're going to have to wait and see how it all pans out. But I'll get on with the first update in a second. Before I get on with that, just to say that to celebrate starting with Christmas updates, we've also opened GazWeapons Christmas shop, and this is our Christmas Amazon page that I am on right now. Normally on this page you will see snow flakes for it. I'll put some snow flakes onto this page, but it slows down the camera and the recording too much, so I have to take them off while I'm recording. But when you come to this page yourself, you will actually see little snowflakes dropping down. So this is the Amazon Christmas shop. We've got a search widget where you can type in the item that you would like to buy, and then it'll come up with the item via the search widget. You just click the link and you'll be able to go off to Amazon and buy that. Alternatively, there's Amazon banners across the page. There's one at the top and there's a couple in the middle and the bottom of the page as well. Click through any of those Amazon banners and it will take you to amazon.co.uk, where you can buy whatever Christmas present you would like. Of course, there have to be Christmas presents, but I assume most people that are buying from Amazon at this time of year will be buying Christmas presents. So you can go to Amazon via the Amazon banners or via the search widget it and buy whatever item you would like. And when you do that, GazWebBiz gets a revenue fee on the item that you buy. So you're not doing anything different. You're not spending any extra money. It's just you're buying the item that you want. And because you've gone from GazWebBiz to Amazon, we get a revenue on the amount that you have spent to buy that item. So you're actually purchasing it from Amazon. You're not purchasing it from GazWebBiz. We just get that revenue on the item because you've gone from our website to theirs. And also on this page, you'll get your very first Merry Christmas of the year, because I sign off the page with Merry Christmas from everyone at GazWebBiz. I thought that would be a seasonal way to end the page. So check out the Amazon shop if you would like to do that. Got an increased shop to do between now and Christmas at Amazon. Do it through GazWebBiz via the Amazon banners, and a big thank you for doing that. Right, let's get on with the first Christmas update, then. We're going to start off with the CFS 9 monthly forecast midday run. I just have to say about this, it's always important that we use the same run. The CFS 9 month forecast is generated 4 times a day, same for the short range GFS. So it's generated at midnight, 6 in the morning, midday, and 6 in the evening. For these updates, and no particular reason why, but for these updates, we always use the midday run when it's available. And then we can't be accused of cherry picking anything. So it's just how the updates come out. We don't pick and choose which run we are using in terms of whether an individual run is showing a colder or a milder scenario. This is just the way that they come out. This was generated midday yesterday, 31st of October. There's always a 24-hour delay on the charts appearing. The website is metroseal.fr, and you'll find the link to Metroseal on the links page. Right, now that's all explained, let's get on with the first update. And starting on the 8th of December, bringing in a westerly flow across the country on the 8th of December. Looks fairly mild and unsettled. It doesn't take long, though, to go into something colder. So we go through to the 10th and the 11th, and we start getting high pressure building to the north of Scotland here. Up to the 12th of December, we've got high pressure to the north of Scotland, bringing in a light easterly wind. That's starting to bring colder air in from central parts of Europe. That cold easterly continues through the 13th up to the 14th of December. Looks quite a cold middle part of the month. There's the east wind. That could well be bringing in snow showers to eastern parts of the country. A little pre-Christmas taste of winter there, with some snow showers and easterly winds, cold easterly winds coming in with the air probably originating from somewhere over towards Russia. That continues up to the 15th and 16th, and in fact we bring quite a deep cold pool across the country on the 16th. That could bring more persistent snow into southern and eastern parts of the country. So cold and potentially quite snowy through the middle part of December. However, we run up to the 17th and we get this explosion of low pressure in the Atlantic. The polar vortex is reforming big time there on the 18th of December. We're cutting off that easterly supply of air as pressure is starting to collapse down into central parts of Europe. And here comes the westerlies returning from off the Atlantic, bringing wet and windy weather, maybe initially preceded by snow, so that runs into cold air, but very quickly turning back to rain. And then the westerlies break through on the 19th and into the 20th, running up towards Christmas in a westerly type scenario. Going up to the 22nd of December, we find high pressure to the south and the east, low pressure to the northwest, and just a flat westerly, bringing bands of rain and possibly a few showers through the country as well. So let's go up to Christmas itself. This is 23rd of December, and we've got big cyclogenesis here to the south of Iceland, a really deepening area of low pressure. That's threatening gales as we run up to Christmas. Here it comes battering the country on Christmas Eve with what looks like a very stormy scenario that would bring gales, maybe severe gales across the country, heavy rain as well on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day goes to sunshine and showers. This is midday Christmas Day, and we've lost the stormy weather, bringing in these west to northwesterly winds. Don't worry about the colours. They look as though they should be very cold. Actually, it wouldn't be particularly cold. It would just be probably average temperatures, maybe kind of a little bit of sleet over Scottish mountains, but just generally sunshine and showers there for Christmas Day. Going through into Boxing Day, another little area of low pressure runs through into the south. That could bring wet weather into southern areas, but don't worry about detail like that. The main idea with these updates is to be looking for the trend. So the first update is a westerly Atlantic driven Christmas after a cold and potentially a little bit snowy spell of weather through the middle part of December. So let's go out beyond Christmas up towards New Year, and another area of low pressure sweeps through from Boxing Day in 27th. That looks really stormy as well. So definitely a stormy Christmas period for this first Christmas update. Beyond that, low pressure stays with us as we go into a no man's land between Christmas and New Year. Not as stormy, but still unsettled. And notice the low pressure beginning to elongate across the country, telling us that it's starting to dive southwards with the jet stream. So probably beginning to turn colder running up to New Year as well. And then just going into the first days of 2017, we find the low pressure slinking away to the south by New Year's Day. This is midday New Year's Day, returning the winds to the east again. So after that stormy Christmas, it turns colder in the new year as the winds swing into the east. Low pressure becomes cut off over Spain, and this will probably be starting to bring cold air in from the east again, maybe with wintry showers in east parts of the country. And then to the first days of January 2017, it stays cold, high pressure around the country, winds generally from a northerly or easterly type direction. Certainly giving us frost, maybe giving us some wintry conditions, with snow perhaps through the first week of January 2017. So a lot to digest with the first update, but remember we're looking for trends. So the general idea for this first update is that we have a cold and wintry, potentially quite snowy easterly spell mid-December, turns milder running up to Christmas, stormy for Christmas itself, and beyond Christmas, and then colder again for New Year. And that's the general thrust of where the model is going for this first update. We'll do the next update on Thursday evening, and we'll see whether these ideas are maintained. If they are, we'll have a trend. If it shows something completely different, then, of course, we'll have to think again. Going to be lots of twists and turns with this, so when the mild updates come through, don't get too despondent if you want cold weather for Christmas. And I can tell you that the midnight run of CFS V2, if I'd used that, it would have been much, much, much colder and more wintry, snowy even, for Christmas. So if you want to check that out, go to betshowseal.fr and have a look. I chose the midday run. That's one we always use. I don't want to be told off for cherry picking anything. So we're going to carry on where we can using midday run, whether it shows cold or mild scenarios or not. So that's it. That's the first update. Got a bit longer than we would normally do because I have to do all the explaining about what we're doing here and setting the scene. Hopefully the rest of the updates won't be as long as this because you know essentially now what we are doing. Right, second update will be on Thursday evening. Don't forget to check out the blog to see what the UK Met is predicting for the end of the year. Very interesting update just come through from them for the remainder of 2016 into January 2017, and that's all for now. Come back on Thursday evening for the second Christmas update. Bye for now.